welcome to the 5th season of the Real Housewives of Potomac. From the very beginning, this has been one of my favorite among the Real Housewives franchises because I think these ladies are interesting. They have a lot of attitude, they have a lot of style. With a couple exceptions, they tend to be younger. They just, I like them. I've always found them really interesting. And I think the cast has just gotten better and better over time. And now I think this season, with the new cast member they brought in, is just terrific. I'm very, very happy with what's going on. So we're going to look at episode 1 and then episode 2. And first we're going to catch up with the ladies and see how they're doing. And then we're going to get right into the drama because that's what the show does. So I am wearing my Glam because I like the style of these ladies. I think they're beautiful, and I wanted to pay some respect to them. And so this is my way of saying, welcome back, ladies of Potomac. Very happy to see you. Okay. All right. We start with beautiful Monique. She's so stunning. I love her. I love her style. I think she's amazing, you know, with all those kids and running a big house. And yeah, I know she has help, but still. I just think that she is just so cool. So anyway, she has a new baby. No, not a human baby. She has adopted an African gray parrot. Now, if any of you are bird owners, and I have been a large bird owner, this is like adopting a 4-year-old child who will stay 4 years old for 60 years. They will live to be about 60 or older, and they will always be toddlers. They'll be naughty. They'll scream when you don't want them to. They'll bite when you don't want them to. They're very stubborn, and they're also so smart. They're great talkers, and they're so affectionate. You have no idea how affectionate birds can be. These big, smart birds can be absolutely as cuddly as any puppy or kitten. But they're not easy. It's just like I said, it's a toddler. It's a toddler in feathers. So we'll see how this works out. But she seems to be a good mom, and she seems like she's already showing herself to be a good parrot mom. So we'll see. All right. Monique's confessional look is heavenly. I hope we see this a lot through the season. She's got the afro puffs, which are just so adorable on her, and then she's got the kind of peekaboo black sheer outfit on, and her makeup, and just the entire look is absolutely slow clap worthy. She looks fabulous. I'm delighted. Okay. So she takes the African parrot and they go to Karen's new house. Karen has crossed back over the Potomac River and is now in Potomac, Maryland again. She's no longer in Great Falls, Virginia. By the way, Great Falls, Virginia is stunning and full of multi-millionaires. So I like the way they made it seem like she was coming down in the world by having to move to Great Falls. No. And even if you're renting a house in Great Falls or renting a house in Potomac, you're spending a fortune. Poor people are not renting houses in Great Falls or Potomac, so they may have come down a little in the world, but obviously they're not dead poor, or they're getting help from somewhere. I don't know, because I don't think it's from her perfume line. I don't think she's making enough off of that to afford these sorts of houses. Okay. All right. Oh. Karen. I love Karen, but Karen, your confessional look. We need to talk about this. The orange chiffon dress, fine. It's a pretty color on your skin. We need to talk about that wig. You need to remove that wig and you need to burn it. But unfortunately, I'm too late. This was filmed months ago. I hope by now you have left it at a charity shop somewhere. It is a mushroom blonde blunt cut, very Dorothy Hamill circa 1976. This wasn't good on young Dorothy Hamill in 1976. This has never been a good haircut on anyone. And the other thing is, it makes her look like, well, a Karen. It's kind of a classic Karen cut. We have a few of those this season with the ladies, as we'll see. but you know, fortunately, because it's Karen, you know that she's going to be switching wigs every hour. So she'll be long blonde, or you know, long ombre, curly. She'll change all the time. So we're not going to be stuck with her in this look. But I just was absolutely, I was literally like, when I saw the image of her in the confessional, I thought, no, 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 no. Karen, you need help, call me. Okay. All right. Karen's house is very big and very grand. However, it reeks of rented property. It reeks of furnished rental. And again, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. It doesn't matter. But it clearly does have that appearance. The furniture is a little dated. The fixtures, it looks very kind of like early 1990s to me. A lot of white, a lot of kind of silver chrome chandeliers. Yeah, it's very dated. It's definitely very dated. But it is beautiful. It's big and it's beautiful. And she's proud to be back in Potomac. So, you know, we'll give her that. All right. Karen continues to shill the La Dame perfume, and I decided to look up and see, you know, how her sales were doing and how her business was doing. So I found out that she was, around the holidays, the end of last year, she was on Home Shopping Network. And is that the one? Yeah, Home Shopping Network. And then she had a pop-up store in a Bloomingdale's in Tyson's Corner, which is a huge mall in Virginia. But Bloomingdale's did not pick up her fragrance nationally. So you cannot buy her fragrance through Bloomingdale's. And then she has her own website where she sells direct, where you can buy directly from her company. So it's going. It hasn't disappeared. It's not a figment of her imagination. It is an actual business. And you know what? It's so hard to start a business like that. And she doesn't have a designer behind her. She's not extremely famous. She doesn't have that much clout. So it's very difficult to try and launch a perfume. Extremely difficult. She picked one of the hardest markets to get into. So I'm not mad at her, and I'm not going to put her down for that. I hope she keeps trying, and I hope she has some luck, and I hope she gets in some stores. Okay. All right. At this point, Ray is considerably older than Karen. Well, I mean, he's always been. I shouldn't say at this point. At this point, the fact that Ray is considerably older than Karen, specifically 17 years older than Karen, well, it's making a difference. When they were married, she was in her 30s and he was in his 50s, and the difference doesn't seem like much at that point. It really doesn't seem like much at all. But then you talk about the difference between a woman in her 50s and a man in his 70s. This is a big difference. Because I can tell you, your 50s are a really, if you're blessed with good health and you put a little effort into your health, your physical fitness, and your looks, 50s are amazing. It's a really energizing time where you feel like, you know, you can do anything. You have a little more money, you have wisdom. It's a great time. And ideally you want to share it with somebody who's on the same level with you, who has that energy and that excitement and that vibrance, because you're not ready to say, okay, I'm going to retire now. You know, and unfortunately she is ready to go out there and just keep having fun and being fabulous and being Karen, and Ray is just all about retirement. So it's a problem that's going to continue to rear its ugly head throughout the season. All right. Well, we see Giselle's new house. Beautiful Giselle. I think she's so pretty. I've heard people make fun of her for the weirdest things, like, oh, her head is too big. Well, I have a giant forehead, so make fun of me for that then, because, I mean, beauty comes in all different proportions. I think Giselle's gorgeous. And I don't think it's just when she's wearing, you know, a $2,000 lace front wig. I just think that she's a beautiful woman. I think she's a beautiful face, beautiful skin tone, beautiful eyes. Just, she's gorgeous. I like her a lot. And, yeah, she's sassy. Yeah, she's bitchy, but I'm a fan. What can I say? Even when she gets kind of nasty, I'm still a fan. Okay, so the big news is Giselle is back with Jamal, the pastor. You know, she was the preacher's wife for years. And, you know, he was the pastor of this huge church in, I believe, Atlanta. And she was the preacher's wife, you know, with all the things that go along with that. And unfortunately, another thing that went along with that is that he slept with everything that walked. He was a prodigious cheater. That is why they could not stay together. However, at this point in her life, something has made Giselle, because the impetus came from Giselle, not from Jamal, say, you know what? This man is tall, he's sexy, he's good looking, he's super educated, he's brilliant, he loves my kids, he's the father of my children. How am I going to do better? So let's hope she's not selling herself short. Let's hope that he's not just making promises about how he's changed and he's not going to be this big womanizer anymore, which is really hard to change. You understand? You know, let's hope that it's not just talk, and let's hope that he means it, because she's going down this road. She's already decided she's pursuing this. She's back together with him. He's coming and staying with her. She's staying with him. Interestingly, the girls are not thrilled about it, because they grew up with mom and dad separate. And I think they grew up having mom all to themselves. And then they would spend time with dad too, but they liked having mom all to themselves. And they said they feel like now all mom and dad care about are each other, because they're kind of having their little, you know, sexy honeymoon together. So the three daughters are not thrilled about it. Her daughters, by the way, she's done a great job raising them. They seem really clever, really together. I like the daughters. This reflects well on Giselle as a person. I think she's a really good mom. So anyway, all right. So the question begs, will Jamal change? Can Jamal change? I think there is a huge difference between someone getting themselves in a situation where things get out of control and they cheat once, which is bad. And I know a lot of people out there would be like, once a cheater, always a cheater. No, forget it. That's it. I'm not sure. I need to hear the circumstances. I'm not as black and white as that. But someone cheating repeatedly, and I know that was the case with Juan too, with Juan and Robin. But I so want to believe that, we'll get into that though. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Okay. All right. Candace and Chris. Okay, they're having their 1-year wedding anniversary party. They're, for the time being, they're waiting on having a baby. They're not in a hurry to have a baby. So she decides that the theme of her anniversary party is going to be diamonds and denim. That sounds like Dollyland. Dollywood? Yeah, the theme park, and you can tell how much I know about all things country. Tennessee? I don't know. Kentucky? Anyway, yeah, and I love Dolly Parton, but it sounds very Dolly Parton, and so I'm a bit confused. But anyway, that's the theme. So it is what it is, as our commander-in-chief just said. Okay, all right. So they go to the restaurant and they say that they'd like to spend about $5,000. Well, I think $5,000 even in a small town would not do that much, let alone a big city like Washington, D.C. So the restaurant says, well, we have a minimum that you have to spend of $22,000. However, if you have a cash bar, you could probably chip in like $10,000 or something on the food, and the rest could be made up by people buying their own drinks. Okay, so they really want to have this party. They really want everyone to come, so that's what they decide to do. They decide to go with a cash bar, which is fine. I would not be comfortable doing that. I would scale down the party and have it in a lovely garden or something rather than having a cash bar, because I have this thing inside me that I need to feed everyone and give them something to drink, and I want everyone to be satisfied, and I don't want my guests to have to pay for their liquor. Yeah, I'm famous for having buying so much champagne for my first wedding that every guest had a bottle of champagne. There was a bottle of champagne for every guest. I don't know what I was thinking. So yeah, there were a lot of people who don't remember that night because they got so drunk. Because, you know, when they just keep passing it around and passing it around and passing it around, you lose track of how much you've had to drink. Plus there was a whole bar of everything else. So Yeah. People remember that wedding as being the coldest night in history in Florida winter. It was so cold. And being drunk off their asses. So anyway, I was too busy to be either drunk or freezing and too distracted. All right, Ashley is a mommy. Ashley has her baby Dean, who kind of looks like Michael. He's kind of got the head shape and the ears. But he's a little baby. Little babies all look like Michael. You know, he'll grow into his looks. But he's very sweet. She's a very kind of holistic, crunchy mom. You know, she wants to do everything naturally. She's very super cautious. She's also an anxious mom. She worries about everything. She's afraid to take the baby out of the house. She's uncomfortable when they go for a walk. She worries about everything. And, you know, she's the type that does the you know, when she stands up or goes anywhere with the baby, she's got the baby swaddled really tight up against her body. You know, so she doesn't even want to leave the baby in a bassinet. Is that what they even use anymore? Whatever they call them, a chair. The little rocky chair. Okay. I still cannot figure out exactly how Ashley and Michael are even together. They're the ultimate odd couple, and I just don't, they live in Arlington. I don't see, if she is a sugar baby, she could have done a lot better than Michael. She's a pretty girl, and I don't think that's what it's all about, because he just is not that wealthy. You know, he's doing fine, don't get me wrong, but she's not, I don't think she's a classic sugar baby. I think that she found him interesting, and I don't know, but I don't think that that's a correct description of her. So anyway, now Robin and Juan. Not usually my favorite part of this show, but this season is going to be everything, because well, first of all, they're still living in that kind of townhouse in Baltimore in the Inner Harbor, which is, I'm not fond of Baltimore. It has some very cool historic buildings and places and sites. But yeah, just Baltimore is one of those northeastern cities like Philadelphia that just kind of, they leave me cold. I appreciate them for a weekend or something, but they leave me cold. I think it would be very hard to go from having a big mansion in Potomac to a townhouse in the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. Not that that's unpleasant. It's a nice neighborhood, but it's hard. I think it's quite a come down. Okay, they talk about wanting the boys. They talk about wanting a bigger home. So the question is hanging in the air. Are they getting married again? They seem more than ever like a couple, like a loving couple. And so that is immediately the question that's out there. Is this going to happen? Are they getting married again? That would make me very happy. And again, I know that he was a serial cheater, but somehow I feel like all the time that he's spent side by side with her and the boys, you know, the last 6 years, he has been there. He might as well have stayed married to her. It's not like he ran off and had a crazy bachelor pad for 6 years. He's been there with her and the kids. So I don't know. They seem to be sort of destined to be together. All right. You know, why does Robin go for those really ugly masculine haircuts? Even before Karen was a thing, even before Kate Gosselin kind of, you know, pioneered the Karen haircut, Robin was doing the choppy, blunt, chopped off on one side and longer than the other, blonde bob. And that's not who she is. She's not, it doesn't fit her. It doesn't suit her. She's a tomboy. So there's other things you can do though. There's other short haircuts you can do that are cuter, that are a little more flattering, that have a little bit of movement, that are a little sexier. I don't know. I always want to see her in better hair. When she grows her hair out to her shoulders, I don't know if it's a wig or if it's her actual hair, but I always get so excited. She doesn't have to have long hair, and she's not one who's ever going to be in one of those long, wavy, expensive wigs. But that's okay. I just like her hair, the blunt, kind of shoulder length even, with the part on one side, is so cute and so sexy for her, and still very practical, and still fits her kind of no-nonsense style. But Karen, Karen, called her Karen. Robin, please, just consider maybe making some changes to the hairstyles. I think we would all really be appreciative, and I think that probably Juan would like it too, although I'm sure he likes her sporty. That's, again, but you can be sporty and have a sporty haircut that's cute, and it's not that chopped off Karen Bob. Anyway, okay. So Robin kind of abruptly announces in all of this scene in their townhouse, we really have to get married. And she says it kind of casually, but Juan, to her surprise, says, yeah, I think it's time. Yeah, we do. So it's a very odd proposal, but the kids are eavesdropping. The boys are eavesdropping. It's so cute. So they're kind of like running up and down stairs, pretending like they're getting something in the kitchen. Trust me, the boys have heard this, because Juan says, yeah, it's time we get remarried. So that made me really happy. See, there's good stuff in this show. It's not all just craziness and alcoholism and bipolarism and everyone going nuts. Although there's that too. Don't worry, we'll have plenty of drama. Oh my God, this season's going to be full of drama. Okay. Now, Candace meets Giselle. Giselle, girl, I love you. They're having lunch. Giselle, what in the name of God are you wearing on your head? What novelty catalog, what demon novelty catalog from God knows where sold a black net baseball cap with a tiara on it? No. Mm-mm. No. Enough said. Enough said. Okay. So Candace and Giselle are getting together. They are talking about Ashley, and they're talking about they're talking about the fact that Candace is planning this big anniversary party, and she tells Giselle she's definitely not inviting Ashley to the anniversary party. Well, because obviously quite a lot went down last season, and this comes a little bit later, but I'll go ahead and tell you what happened now, because it's pretty horrible, and I saw the tweet, and it's pretty disgusting. When Ashley was actually giving birth, Candace picked that time to send out a tweet saying, listen, Roach, you've been laying on your back long enough, like a cockroach laying on their back, waving their legs in the air to attract money. In other words, all you do is have sex for money, which is such an ugly way of saying it. It's really bad. It's a horrible thing to say, and she says some things that are worse besides. Remember, Chris said that Michael kind of propositioned him, made some sexually inappropriate statements, and Candace was pretty happy to spread it around to everybody. So that's one of the reasons why Candace and Ashley are not exactly good friends. In fact, they hate each other right now. They ended last season in a giant fight, if you recall. All right, and Candace is pretty spicy. She doesn't just sort of like let things lie. She's gonna hold on to that. She's a tough one. Candace is a tough one. Okay, now Candace and Chris have their anniversary party with their cash bar, and Candace has a friend that she brings who was originally from Nigeria, and her name is Wendy, Dr. Wendy. She's a PhD. And you probably know that she is going to be not a friend of, she is going to be a new housewife. She's going to be a new member of the cast. It's hard to tell at the party. There's not a lot to kind of judge from the first few minutes that we meet her, but she seems, you know, very strong, very together. And Karen kind of takes an immediate dislike to her. Karen might be threatened by the fact that this woman is kind of a political player and has a PhD. Oh, she's a professor at Johns Hopkins, which is like the top university in the country in, among other things, political science. So she's real. She's for real. Wendy is a brilliant, successful woman, and she's attractive, and she's young. And I think that maybe Karen just feels a little bit maybe threatened by her. But then also remember, Karen doesn't like anyone who's new. It's the Ramona syndrome. Just like Giselle is hard on people that are new. But Karen really has the Ramona syndrome, where she'll act like, who are you? Why do I need to know you? What's in it for me? How will being your friend help me? That kind of attitude. Karen's got it. Okay. So, oh God, there's so much tension in this group. Yeah, Candace and Giselle are also in kind of a rough patch, even though they're, you know, they're talking. They're in a rough patch too, because Candace made fun of Giselle's cabin that she's fixed up. She basically said, you know, why did you buy a fixer-upper $900,000 cabin to put your family in? Like, why are you so cheap? Why did you get this dumpy house for your kids? Well, this is really nasty because it's attacking her as a mom. Like, why would you put your kids in such a crappy place? It's not crappy. It's beautiful. She's turning it into something really cool and really beautiful. And it's in the woods, and there are deer around everywhere, and it's close to the river. And honestly, Candace and Chris are not wealthy. You know, they've had to go to her mother for money, and now they're trying not to go to her mother for money. So they have to work very hard, and they're struggling a bit. You know, thus the $5,000 budget for the anniversary party. So I don't know why. I have no idea why she would go after Giselle in that way. That was a huge mistake. You don't want to get on Giselle's wrong side. Even though Candace is spicy and she's tough, you don't want to be on Giselle's wrong side. Trust me. Okay. Now, Wendy comes up to Giselle and kind of makes the mistake of saying, oh, I know Jamal. I know Jamal, yeah. And that's not a good thing to say to Giselle because, remember, Jamal slept with everybody. So any attractive woman who comes up and says, oh, I know Jamal, she probably thinks, oh, God, another notch on his bedpost. But, in fact, she says that... I think that they were in some sort of conference together on race relations. So it was a business association. And then also Monique said that Jamal came and spoke at her church, that he came to speak there. And Monique says that she is confused at their getting back together because Jamal is such a notorious player. So she's worried about Giselle. Fair enough. Okay. Oh, then we see Charisse. I love Charisse. Well, I miss Charisse. However, I'm going to find out that Charisse did something pretty offsides immediately after that. Apparently, Charisse has been spreading very ugly rumors about Monique. Now, I don't know if she's just reporting what she saw or if she's making up rumors. I don't know. But Charisse has let many people know that Monique was having an affair with her personal trainer and even went out with him, was even seen out with him. And Monique's husband found out and was obviously furious. It caused a lot of problems. They smoothed over everything, but that kind of stupid rumor spreading, even if it has a kernel of truth, why would you do that? Why would you want to destroy a family? You know, they've got all these kids. They've got a parrot. You know, don't go out to break up someone's home. You will get the worst karma. I think that one of the worst sins you can do is breaking up basically a happy home. Even if someone's doing something that's not perfect, it's not your job to go in there and say, right, I'm going to just blow everything up. I'm going to throw a couple sticks of dynamite in. I'm going to make a couple snide comments about Monique and her hot personal trainer, and I'm going to walk away. So that makes me like Charisse less than I did in the past. Even if the rumors are true, it's not her place. It is not her place to say that. Okay. All right, so finally, Candace decides that she wants to have two ladies speak because it's her anniversary party and these two ladies have been married for a long time. So first she asks Karen. Karen? Okay, I didn't know Candace and Karen were really that close, but she calls Karen up because she feels like, Karen's been married for 25 years and she admires that, and so, Karen kind of gulp because she's having some problems in her marriage, but she goes up there and she says, it can be challenging. It's a challenge. You have to work on it all the time. She doesn't say anything specific, but that's basically what she says. You have to kind of write it out and put up with the hard times, and she doesn't give anything away. And then she asks, Candace asks her mother to speak, and the problematic relationship between Candace and her mother. And her mother's like, oh, well, I was married 35 years, but to two different men. Okay, well, that doesn't count. Anyway, her mother's drunk. And you know how obnoxious Candace's mother is? Well, she's funny when she's drunk. She should drink more. She's a happy drunk. She's more affectionate to her daughter. Her speech was a mess. It was all over the place, but I was like, oh, I like drunk Candace's mom. Yeah, give her another one. Give her another whatever she wants. Give her another Hennessy, whatever. Give her another vodka. Okay. Oh. These confessional looks. Oh, there are some good ones and there are some bad ones, and when they are bad, they are very, very bad. Honey, Candace, what are you doing with that wig? With that long, braided, medieval times wig? You're trying to be kind of multiracial Daenerys Targaryen. It's bizarre. It's a lot. Yeah, an ordinary mortal can't wear that kind of hairstyle unless you're riding it on a dragon. Don't try it. So I don't know if we're going to have to keep seeing this look or if they're going to change them up. But I find this look very concerning. It's not attractive. And Candace is pretty. She's cute. It doesn't suit her either because she's not like the kind of romantic pre-Raphaelite girl with the flowing hair being saved by the night. That's not her. That's not who she is. So that hair is all kinds of wrong. All right. Now, I have to say, we see a little preview before we go on to episode number 2. We see a little preview of what's coming up for the season, and it looks good. It looks really nice. There's a lot, and nasty at the same time. There's a lot coming on. There's funny, there's cute, there's romantic, there's girl, I will pull a knife on you. There's a little bit of something for everybody. So I'm really looking forward to it. And again, I got all dressed up. I like to kind of dress nice for the housewives anyway, but I pulled out my Glam because, frankly, I just think these ladies are very special and very stylish. And I think that they, this is such an old word. I don't like the word classy because it makes me sound like I'm a Vegas lounge singer from the 1950s. But I think that these ladies can be pretty classy. And they can be kind of tacky too. But overall, I just think that they're on a higher level than a lot of the women on the Real Housewives franchises. Let's compare, for example, the level of education and the quality of speech and thought of the Real Housewives of Potomac with the Real Housewives of New Jersey, for example. I'm just saying. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. Once again, I'm supposed to say 5 times throughout, but I get so excited sharing this with you and going over the ladies that I forget to say till the very end. Please share your comments with me. Tell me how you feel about the ladies, their looks, their actions, their attitudes. How are you feeling this season? Are you feeling the new cast member, Wendy? Let me know. And most importantly, if you could just slide your finger over and hit that little red subscribe button, This is literally a party for me every time this happens, because I am a new content creator. And please, if you subscribe, please put in the comments, I subscribed, with your name, so that I can write back in the comments a thank you. I literally want to thank every individual person who subscribes, because I enjoy this so much. I want to share this with you. And if you are feeling it enough to push that red button, I want to tell you how much it means to me. So, thank you. It's been fun. I will speak to you very soon. We'll continue with episode 2. And until then, be good, but not too good.